Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am not Total Biscuit. I'm not even British. I am, however, Bootstrap, and what I have for you today is a little quick tips and guide about buying your next GPU, and this is mostly geared to your perhaps your first or second time builders who aren't really sure what GPU they should buy. After all, there are a boatload of choices out there, and a lot of them seem to be really, really nice and sparkly and wonderful. But do you really need them? Well, let's start with a couple of basics. If you buy a video card that will blow your resolution that you play on out the water, you're not really doing yourself any favors at all. You basically are going to end up with a ton of screen tearing, just a lot of stuttering, and not a very fun experience at all. What you need to do is realize what I'm playing on and what do I need to get my games running at 60 frames per second and buttery smooth, and also get the best visual experience possible with the video card and the resolution that you have working together. So, first things first, what resolution are you playing on? Once you have determined that, that makes it a little bit easier to decide what type of card you're going to get. Second question, what type of games do you play? Now, if you're mostly playing games like Dota 2, League of Legends, World of Warcraft, things like that, you're really not going to need too much horsepower in your GPU. You could go with a low to mid-grade card and be able to max everything out at 1080p and have a crazy, crazy good experience. But let's say you want to play some of the more demanding titles, Witcher 3, you like the Crysis series, you play a lot of, let's say Battlefield 4, something that 64-man server that needs a little bit more horsepower. For games like those, you should pretty much look to buy a mid to maybe a higher mid-type card. 1080p, something like a GTX 970, to be perfectly honest with you, is overkill at 1080p. It really is. You don't need it. You are fine with a 960 or the AMD equivalent of that, maybe like a R9 370 or 380. You're perfectly fine. You don't really need to spend more than that to get a really good experience with that type of resolution. But marketing can really be difficult to kind of avoid. If you watch a lot of the higher tech channels like Jay's 2 Cents, Linus Tech Tips, channels like those, Tech Syndicate, most of the time they're reviewing really, really high-tech, cutting-edge type stuff. And although that stuff is really cool, it's really not anything that you need to have a great, fun gaming experience. So you need to kind of block out some of the marketing, which can be really hard. But if you do that and you make sensible choices, you can really have a fun experience. You can have money left in your wallet to, upgrade other things on your PC, like getting maybe an SSD where you haven't had one before, maybe getting a larger hard drive, more memory, things like that, a better CPU. It is, of course, true that, yes, your GPU is the primary, piece of equipment when it comes to your gaming. Yes, your CPU does play a part, of course, as well. But again, you can get the desired resolution, frame rate that you want, as long as you're honest with yourself, know what you're doing, as far as what type of gaming you're going to do. And again, this is primarily for gaming. I realize there's people who build PCs for a lot of other things than just gaming. But for those that are building it for gaming, I think it's kind of important that not only are people always, oh, look, it's a snail. Hello, Mr. Snail. Oi! Smack. I'm going to throw a rock at you. It's kind of, important to know that, wow, I'm kind of getting cornered here. Oof. Doink. That all those things are really cool, but they're really not necessary. Ooh, can I pick this up? I can pick this up. It's probably food. So just be careful. Watch what you're doing, because like I said, the PC industry and the gaming industry is not unlike any other corporate market. They want to try and empty out your wallet if they can. And the reality of it is, you can get what you want, you can get a great experience, and you can keep your wallet with some money in it, which, isn't a bad thing at all. Basically, that is all you kind of have to do as far as buying a GPU goes. Now, as far as all the details of, how fast they are, what type of games they run best, there's a ton of information out there about that. It would not take you very long. You could find many channels that have this type of information that can tell you about the various types of abilities that the various GPUs have, with plenty of data and benchmarks for you to view. Give me my knife back. So having said all that, I hope this helps a little bit. I know it's not a super detailed video, but to be honest with you guys, a lot of stuff, and gals, a lot of this stuff is pretty simple. We kind of tend to overcomplicate things when we really don't need to. So I would say just think about things a little bit more, examine it a little bit more, figure out exactly what you want to do, and if you do that, you'll be fine. Don't get too caught up in the future proofing nonsense that people talk about, like, hey, I want to build a PC that's going to be good for 5 to 7 years, and it's just not going to happen. Things move way too fast. Technology changes every year, and if you're trying to stay at the bleeding edge of technology all the time, you better have some deep pockets, and you better be ready for some disappointment, because as I said in one of my other videos, the developers aren't necessarily always, let's say, the most non-lazy bastards. So, having a great amount of technology doesn't do you much good if you don't have the software or the various other types of things needed to make that hardware really run at the max and get the max out of it. So, oh, it's another snail. Hello, Mr. Snail. I throw a rock at you and a knife. So, I hope this helps, guys, and I hope you guys like this video. Like I said, I know it's not anything special. I didn't give you any earth-shattering news that you haven't got before, but it's some honesty, and I think some honesty goes a long way sometimes in helping people understand and not get too caught up in, just being all about benchmarks and all about saying, hey, my GPU runs at, this speed and it can play this at this, and it doesn't really matter. All that matters is, are you getting a great gaming experience? Are you enjoying your gaming experience? And if you are, then that's really all that counts. So, once again, hope you guys like this video, and hope this helped some of you guys kind of get a starting point on where you need to go for buying your next GPU. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a good one. Bootstrap.